McDonald. I am a teacher, and you might recognize me from downtown Glens Falls. I used to have a shop on Glen Street called Downtown Charm. I ran the shop with my sister. We painted up old furniture like the nightstand you see behind me, and we kind of brought old furniture pieces back to life with chalk paint classes and things like that. But honestly, I was never the crafty one. My sister sort of forced me into the crafting part of the business, but what I really loved was the nerdy online marketing stuff. So now that the store is closed, I have an online business where I help other small businesses, teachers with an online business, to kind of work on their social media marketing strategy and bring their business into the online space. So I have a blog and a podcast and a whole crew of people whose names you see behind me, and we talk about all sorts of things marketing. During this time of COVID-19 and social distancing, I have to say it hasn't been the easiest. I have 2 toddlers and one on the way in a couple of weeks, or any minute now is what it feels like. So we've been busy. There's not a moment where I am alone. So that's been interesting, but we're also very blessed, happy to have some extra time together at home as a family, and glad that we're safe and able to do our part to keep everyone safe. Probably the biggest challenge for me during this time where we are at home has been balancing work with having toddlers clinging to me at all times. So especially as a teacher, I'm trying to show up for my class, still connect. I miss them. I teach 5th graders, and so I try as much as I can to connect with them, but I also understand that they and their families are overwhelmed and that they may just need some downtime as well. So trying to balance spending time with my own family plus showing up for my students in a way that is not overwhelming, but that still allows me to maintain that connection with them. That's been really tricky. And then of course, also balancing my online business with that. That was tricky to begin with. And now that we're home, you would think there would be more time for things like that, but it's actually really tricky to balance everything when there is no end time. There's no work hours that you show up and then you leave. You have to kind of set your hours yourself. And that takes a lot of discipline, and that's been really hard. During this time of social distancing, we've been keeping busy with mostly trying to get outside as much as we can. If the weather is cooperating, or even if it's not, we'll go out in the rain, we'll go out in the cold, we'll do whatever it takes to get those kids outside. We're also trying to chunk our time up so that the kids can be doing projects. Their daycare has been super sweet and has been sending us projects for the kids to work on while they're at home. So we have project time, outside time, and we try to just chunk the day up a little bit. And so we've been keeping busy with those things. Being pregnant during this time of the pandemic has been a real challenge. And for any moms who are out there who are pregnant right now, I think it's important to just kind of validate and empathize with the fact that your expectations of what your pregnancy was going to be like are probably shifting in a big way. This was, as planned, our last baby, and so I had a lot of expectations around how it was going to go. We're expecting a girl, and that's our first girl, so we had a sprinkle planned, and we had a lot of ideas about how much more relaxed this 3rd pregnancy was going to be, and how much more relaxed the experience with the newborn was hopefully going to be, but that is not the case. In fact, instead of planning my sprinkle and putting away baby clothes and packing my hospital bag, I've been looking up ways to make sure that we don't bring any germs home from the hospital, make sure that we are bringing minimal amount of stuff with us so that we're not transferring any germs back here when we come home, and that we're really keeping ourselves safe and healthy for the birth process. So all of that has been just a big shift in what we thought this was going to be like, and that is really tough, and I think deserves some time to grieve and just kind of let go of what we thought was going to happen as mamas, and how we thought that was going to look. But I have to say, the doctors, the hospital, they have been really supportive in keeping us updated, making sure that I have the option to use telehealth if I need to for my appointments, or to come in if that's what I need to do. They've been keeping me updated on the procedures, and I know everything they're doing is to protect us, and I really feel comfortable with that. It's taken some adjusting on my part, but I feel good going into it, and I know that they're going to take the best care of us that they can. A silver lining I've found in all of this is having more time with my family. I know that I said earlier it's kind of tough. Sometimes it is tough to be together all the time, but we are so blessed to have this time where we're not feeling like we have a million things we need to go do and go. We don't have to go to any kind of a class. We don't have to go to soccer. We don't have to, I don't have to have the guilt that I didn't take the kids to the museum today or go do something with them on the weekend. There's just only space for us to be together and enjoy the little things. So we've been, cooking and doing projects together and enjoying. Sometimes we'll just go for a drive. It's been nice to not have the guilt of having so much to do. My words of wisdom are to not feel like you need to do all of the things right now. It feels like we might have some extra time because we're forced to be home, but really we're digesting a lot that's going on in the world. And this is a time, an experience none of us have ever had before. So if you need to do a little self-indulgence, if you need to take an extra long shower, if you're a mama and you need to lock yourself in the bathroom for a few minutes, if you need to watch Netflix or bake a pan of brownies and eat the whole thing, go for it, because you just need to take this time to do whatever you can to give yourself those little wins, keep yourself happy and sane. And then if you feel ready, tackle the project of cleaning out the pantry or organizing the kids' clothes, but don't guilt yourself into feeling like you have to do all of those things. There's plenty of time. You'll get to a project if your mind is in that space, but if your mind is not, take the time to just self-indulge, enjoy, relax. Thank you, Glen Street Living, for giving me this platform to chat about my pregnancy during the time of COVID and to give some advice, to shout out to my students, and to say hi to all of you that I have missed. When I had the store in downtown Glens Falls, I got to visit with all of you all the time, and I really, truly miss doing that. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to reconnect, and I hope to see you all soon.